get started. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited about this topic. I think everybody's talking agentic these days, and we wanted to kind of roll up our sleeves together and see how we can create some of these journeys together. From an agenda perspective, what we're about to cover today is we'll do quick introductions because we have some of our key partners joining us today on this masterclass. So we'll talk about that and the angle of each one of our partners. Define together what the heck is agentic that everybody's talking about. Dive a little bit into what is the Commbox platform and specifically our SAP partnership. And then the most important part that Ishai is going to lead is building together some agentic flows. So take you through building some flows and maybe trying to adjust them together. And then we'll leave the last 5 minutes for questions, and whatever we won't be able to cover, we'll make sure we answer and follow up with the people later on. Throughout the session, there's a Q&A part here that you can write questions. So write them and we'll try to address as many of them as possible at the end of the session. So without further ado, let's dive in. So from an introduction perspective, my name is Michal. I lead global partnership for Commbox and specifically the partnership with SAP. Lucas, do you want to take a few minutes to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me. Lucas over here. I'm not sure if you can see me. You can hear me, hopefully. I'm not an AI bot at this point. I'm heading the SAP Mars ISV partnerships team, so specifically focusing on technology partners like Commbox. And I'm really excited about this webinar today, or the masterclass today. I think learning about kind of like the agentic approach specifically to how Commbox approaches these things is going to be really, really interesting.
Super, thank you. And Michael from Vonage, you want to introduce yourself and kind of how we're partnering around this?
Sure. Hi, Michael Nelson here with Vonage. So I lead global strategic partnerships, and I'm very happy to be working with both Commbox and SAP on some really cool use cases that leverage some of our communication APIs. Very excited about the multimodal capabilities that are emerging when you combine agentic AI. So thank you for having me, and looking forward to this meeting.
Sounds great. And then from a partner's perspective, we have Gareth on, who's our key partner in the UK. So Gareth.
Hey, thanks for having me. Hi, I'm Gareth. I work at Premier CX. We work with multiple call centers and contact centers across the UK and globally to help with a bunch of aspects of their customer experience. And a lot of them are very interested in agentic AI right now. So we partner with Commbox to deliver it.
Super. And we have one more that's a bit late for this introduction session, but David is with Avale. He's one of the Avale is a key SAP partner. We work with him both in Europe and in Latin America. So if he joins later and we have time, we'll let him introduce himself. But for now, Ishai, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Ishai. I'm a solution and pre-sale manager at Commbox, and I'm gonna go through agentic process flow that we created, connecting the dots of back services like SAP, Emarsys, Commbox, WhatsApp, and so on. Nice to meet you.
Sounds great. So we're going to jump ahead. So I think we all know this because you can't step a step these days without somebody talking to you about AI, but it's really changed not only how we live as consumer, but also for brands, right? And customers' expectation of how they want to interact with us. We all know that consumers leave websites very quickly and go to other tools, ChatGPT and so on, to search for what they are looking for. Consumers now expect brands to know them and to personalize the communication with them and to be able to, in real time, to serve them up with what they want. So consumer expectations and customer expectation have shifted in a very significant way. Gartner actually projects that by 2030, more than 50% of service requests are going to be fully automated. You'll see some of the case study we've done. We're seeing up to 90% that gets shifted to automation. So it's really happening very rapidly, this transition to leveraging automation to interact with brands. Leaders in the market, both government leaders like Trump and technology leaders, are talking about agentic and the shift to being able to do AI-driven automation with customers. But I did want to stop just for a minute and to define what the heck is agentic, because I think we all talk about it, but it's not super clear what is it. So the definition by Wikipedia is it's basically a system that can operate autonomously, make decisions, take action, adapt dynamically to what the customer is saying, and be very goal driven. So the outcome of what you're trying to do is really what it's about. So that's kind of the definition of agentic. I did want to make one comment. Since it's a new field, the definition of agentic tends to change a little bit depending on the agenda of the vendor. So if you go to Salesforce, they will define agentic in one way versus others in the market. So we'll just kind of keep it in mind as we're going through this. Commbox specifically is focused on agentic CX. We'll talk about customer experience. We'll talk about that in a minute. But envision that your team's customer is coming and the team that handles him looks like this. There's one human agent, but there are several expert agents that are helping assist on the specific customer request. We have Bob, that is CX manager, that his role is to best route what the customer was asking for to the specific expert agent to handle that specific request. We have Mark, that his role, his expertise is in insurance claim management. He knows how to gather all the relevant information and completely handle a claim request. We have Abby, who's a sales agent. Her role is to do outreach to the customer and continuously try to upsell them on their existing policy. So envision the journeys with your customer could look something like this. On one hand, when the customer had an accident and they're reporting that accident, the first person they would meet is Bob. Bob will retrieve the contact from the CRM, understand, do we know this specific customer, yes or no? And then we'll route the discussion to the best agent to handle it. In this case, it is Mark. Mark is a claims expert. He can A to Z collect the data and basically open up a ticket to handle this specific claim request. If at any time the sentiment drops or Mark hits something that he doesn't know to answer, at that point he will escalate to a human. And that human constantly has a human shadow agent that will learn what are the cases in which human got escalated and try to teach the AI agents to get better and better so escalation happens less and less. So this is an example of an agentic flow of incoming. Outgoing can look something like this, right? We have Abby. Abby proactively reaches out through marketing automation software to the customer. The customer, when they reply, that's when, again, automation kicks in. You decipher intent, and then you basically try to drive to an outcome according to whatever we reached out to this customer on. So that is kind of an example of what agentic flows look like. A few minutes about Commbox. So we've been around for 13 years. We have probably closer to 400 customers at this point, global offices, and we're really here to automate, especially when you have complex customer interactions. So being able to automate A to Z, things like scheduling of appointments, things like retrieving of ticket status, and so on and so forth. We'll see examples in a minute. So if we look at some of the industries we operate in, I think last time we counted was over 14 industries. Here are some of the reoccurring ones, but really it's across the board. And we're seeing deep automation happening in every one of these industries. I think it's important to understand we're not going to dive into every use case here, but when we go into an industry, you typically start with a single use case, but then they come back for more. And you see more and more let's say automotive customers that started with 24/7 support, but then they come back and they keep on adding more and more automation because it's creating significant efficiency and improving customer satisfaction. Now let's talk about our SAP partnership. So we've been partners with SAP for over 5 years. We started with a deep integration into the CRM, which is called now SAP Sales and Service Cloud. We support both V1 and V2 for the CRM. We have, I think, overall close to 20 customers together. When we have the integration with the CRM, we have a seamless integration that you can operate within the CRM without leaving the CRM UI and continue to operate Commbox in conjunction with that. This year, we also partnered with Lucas and the Emarsys team to launch an integration to Emarsys. Our customers were asking us for this. Emarsys is a marketing automation software. We'll look at some of the flows that we can do there, but it allows us really to close the customer experience loop. So if a flow can start from sending a campaign, but then customer replies, it's logged into the CRM, and Yishai will show you this in action in a few minutes. Our customer base really spans across both industries and geographies. We work both directly with SAP, but also we have, like you see in this masterclass, many SAP partners that are partnering with us in order to execute this go-to-market. In the slide deck, we have quite a few customer stories that we've done together, each one of them with significant efficiencies. If we take Tadiran as an example, more than 62% of inquiries were automated when we work together. We're going to send you the slide deck, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we're going to run out of time. But there's a lot of really good examples with a lot of specific use cases to each and every industry here that show you the benefits of automation. Shlomo 6 is an automotive one that uses also Emarsys, so we put them here as well. Let's talk about the platform, and then I'm going to transition to Yishai. So the Commbox platform, if we take a bird's eye view of it, really it has on the top here, you have all the ways in which customers may want to interact with a brand. It could be on social channels like WhatsApp, RCS, and so on. It could be somebody badmouths your brand on Instagram. It could be email. It could be web chat. So whatever the way they want to interact, that is the top here. Then it goes into your specific business orchestration. That's where all the business logic that we decided to create together sits. It basically it's a combination of flows that are specific to your brand that have been defined. And then this business logic is used both by AI agents, but also by live agents. So at any point in time, you can seamlessly transition between human agent and AI agent and back. We also support enterprise integrations like the one that we're speaking about today with SAP. So seamlessly at the point of the journey where you need to go and fetch data from the CRM, from Emarsys, we will go and fetch that, and it will work seamlessly as part of that flow. We know the conversational history. There is the business knowledge that could be loaded into the system. So when the agent answers, he answers with understanding what the specific policies for your business are. So that's a high-level view of the Commbox platform. To build an AI agent, you really need to take all these things into consideration: the specific persona, the flow logic, his ability to understand your specific knowledge base that your business is running on, the ability to reason based on rules that you define for your agents, and of course, ability to access both short-term memory of the conversation and long-term memory that is retained in your CRM, etc. This is a slide that takes you through the flow that each agent goes through. I'll leave it in the slide deck. I think it's a bit too technical for now, and I want to leave time for Yishai, but basically each and every AI agent will go through this flow to ensure not only we're executing what you want, but we ensure security and privacy of the solution. No discussion is full without AI. So AI is strategically used across everything that we do, both by AI agents, human agents, but also by the flow builder itself to jump to steps with a specific intent. And since some of our customers are banks and healthcare and so on, securities in everything that we do, we went through in 13 years, Commbox has been around to create a very enterprise-ready solution with a lot of SOC 2 Type 2 and other security compliance protocols. The next section is going to talk about the SAP integration. Since Yishai is going to show it to you, you have here slides both on the CRM integration, but also on the Emarsys integration that again we'll share with you after. But since Yishai is going to show it to you in action, I'm going to skip a few ahead on that. But you're really able to create seamless flows both with SAP CRM and Emarsys. So I'm gonna, at this point, transition over to Yishai and let him kind of roll up our sleeves together and build together some agentic flows. And at the end, we'll talk again about some questions that you may have. So I know it was a bit quick, but I wanted to ensure that we have enough time for building together. So Yishai, I'm handing it over to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Can you see my screen, Michal?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So we created a demo, and then we will walk you through the demo and how we build it and how we can change it and modify, plus some inputs about Commbox and the integration with SAP and Emarsys and so on. So just one note about Commbox. So as the illustration emphasized, we create user journey to engage with our customers, all employees for that matter, on all digital channel. We meet the data on the SAP marketing platform like Emarsys and so on and so forth. And we connect all the dots with the agentic studio approach that we have, enhancing everything with AI and creating user journeys that can automate the flow and self-service A to Z. Okay. Now, currently, this is the story that we're gonna demonstrate today. That's the last slide, and then we'll see it in action. What we have today is Samantha, who is trying to buy something, some dress or clothing item on a random e-commerce platform. She is engaging with the web chat, which is AI-driven, embedded into the website, Commbox AI web chat. Same engagement is also enhanced and attached to the WhatsApp number that that brand has as well. So it's, if you can connect with the web chat or otherwise, you will get the same, more or less the same user journey. Now, once she's asking with conversational discussion, asking for specific item, Commbox Agentic AI will send requests to the SAP to check the inventory of that specific website. Okay, so first step will be to search if it's there or not. In our demo, basically we're receiving out of stock for that specific item, and that will be sent back to Samantha, our customer, saying, we're sorry, it's out of stock. Now, we won't end here because we know that if she's interested, I mean, the item will be back in stock soon enough. So we offer Samantha to sign up to an option to get back in stock updates via WhatsApp. In order to prevent churn and so on and so forth, and keep engaging with Samantha and basically sell her the dress. So besides the fact that she is getting the out of stock, she will get the information to sign up, and we'll see you can leave your details in the web chat or wherever you will engage about your phone number, name, and so on. And few days later, or whenever the inventory will be updated again with that specific item, automation will make sure that SAP will push the Emarsys to communicate via Commbox to push a WhatsApp notification saying to Samantha, okay, it's back in stock. You can buy it near your place. Specifically, this brand is selling brick and mortars and on physical shops. So we are saying you live in New Jersey, you can buy it in New Jersey. Have fun. That will be sent to Samantha. Samantha will continue purchase and so on and so forth. Eventually, we send a CSAT a survey saying how was the journey. Okay, In case she will send bad survey with bad scoring or high scoring or whatever, the reasoning system will decide what to do with that. If it's bad scoring, we will update SAP that will push some promo code or whatever via the SAP Emarsys, getting another promo code saying we're sorry for bad engagement. You can tell us what went wrong and so on and so forth. Or if it's great, we can update the records. Okay, so that's the flow. We will cover all bases in a second. Let's go back to the demo itself. Okay, so this is the website where Samantha is engaging with the chatbot. In a second, we'll see how we built that chatbot completely. So we are using conversational AI chatbot orientation, plus, depending on the customer, we leave some activity which are revealed in order to accommodate people who is not used to, semantic search for products. So they can, click on a given product search or just type that, I'm looking for specific dress, black, size S or whatever, and basically get that specific dress. Now, that specific dress is out of stock, so we basically are saying, sorry, it's out of stock. If you can leave your name and email, which is my email, just because in SAP, the connector will recognize me based on my phone number and email. So that's the unique key, but again, it can be modified. So I'm sending information to the system, eventually going back to SAP saying, sign me up whenever the item is back, push me notification. Okay. Now this message currently is in a automated queue on Commbox side on our inbox, and basically that part is done, and now we're waiting for the item to be back in stock. Okay, now same journey that we see here is also embedded on WhatsApp number which is available. For example, I can do product search, it will jump to the item, and then we will ask what is the product that you want to search for. So I can do the same thing, dress and so on, and it will go and continue doing the same thing. Okay. Now now for the second part of the, you see that it's out of stock. Sign up or do whatever you want. You can leave your name. So now let's say I will do it from here as well quickly. Just a second. I'm less quick than I'm clicking, but never mind. I will start it again. So I'm signing up for the notification message. Okay. Thank you, Samantha. We'll send you a WhatsApp whenever it's ready. Okay. Now, these messages are also created within the Emarsys part. Okay. On Emarsys part, we have ability to create a webhook and API and so on that will basically listen to information coming from Commbox, get information coming from the SAP itself, connect the dots, and then push whatever messages we want to send via WhatsApp in that example, in order to get to our customer and other marketing related ability. Another part related to SAP, just because we're talking about SAP currently and how it's engaging in SAP, is basically the ability to host Commbox within SAP. So messages are coming to I mean, if my agents are sitting and working on the SAP part, they don't need to leave their working area because we have SAP integration with Commbox via some basic integration that we have for out-of-the-box connectors, and then we see everything going on the system itself and engagement, and then we can check the case, task, and so on. So these are the parts related to the SAP. Okay. Now, if we go to how that journey was created, we can go to the studio. Just before that, we can basically, it will take a few seconds, and then it will be sending the message of a back in stock message in few seconds. And in the meantime, we can just go into the under the hood and then check how we are doing all this magic and how the dots are connected. Okay, so I will just a second. Okay, so okay, let's now go into the under the hood and check what are the elements composing this flow end to end. Okay. Okay, so this is Commbox model store or app store. We have all the models that you need in order to activate whatever you want to activate, whatever use case you want to attend in your customer support call center, digital wise or voice wise. So in this app store, we have all the models covering all touch points. First touch point are the channels that I'm connecting to: WhatsApp, Facebook, Facebook Messenger, SMS, YouTube, Telegram, Messenger, and so on and so forth. Internal apps, which are the internal apps that Commbox provide, which is the web chat. We have also voice chat, video chat, and so on. All of them are in-house designed. Here we have the integration connectors to third-party systems. In our case, we are talking about if we're talking about immersives. So basically, it's just authentication that we have. So it's not a big deal to integrate into it. If we're talking about the C4C, so basically we have if you're talking about V1, so you have URL, credentials, and so on. If we're talking about V2, it's front end because it's cloud service, so we don't do anything here. We're doing it differently. But again, the out of the box connectors are easy to engage. We have also webhook service where I can expose with third-party service or listening mechanism whatever is going in the engagement part. Okay, so this is the connector side. We have the engagement side, and in the middle we have creating the journey on the studio, plus other application kind of how to activate the AI, how to activate Google Translate and other applications that we offer as part of Commbox. Okay. Any questions about, and basically the whole orientation is point and click. If I will show you, for example, the chatbot that I created for this demo. So basically you can see that it's point and click, pick colors, embed the code. Installation is embedding the HTML code, choose what automation flow you put on specific flows or specific chats, what will be the AI part on facing customers and facing agents, because we allow agents, real-time agents, also to use the AI in order to enhance the work. And of course, this channel is connected to my SAP. Okay, so this is the actual connector. What I want the connector to do: search for the customer, add contacts, attachments, what basically we are handshaking between the system. Okay, so these are the moving parts on that side. Now we can go to the studio and see what exactly we have created. Okay, how I'm on time, I'm good. Okay, so let's go to the studio. Okay, so this is the studio where I created the journey itself. Basically, it's very intuitive, low code orientation. When I stand on a given node, basically I have here area to put text into it. Not necessarily you need to hard code everything or copy paste or whatever, because we have knowledge base item where I can pick from, whatever. So that's a possibility. Put your static text or use AI prompt. So the node, and I have an example, the node itself is basically kind of a gateway to AI. And I can put prompting on the studio directly and no need to go outside. So basically, when I creating the flow, I can put activities under the hood of the bot itself. Now, when I demoed the bot, the chat bot, the WhatsApp, whatever, you saw only visible of 3 buttons visible: searching for product, maybe searching for help, and maybe live support. Now, all the rest is hidden under the hood. Some of the activities, for example, you didn't see, but if somebody will search for specific location, I can share the location because I have ability to create mini database on the studio itself and allow the bot to search within itself for store location, cross-reference with sharing of location via the chat, via the WhatsApp, or whatever, and offering the best, closest shop to your location. For example, if we're talking about product search, again, you put here some information. If I want to grab and harvest information from the customer, I can create surveys or forms in order to grab data, then take this data, push to AI, push to SAP, and so on. About Node AI is basically, prompting whatever I want that node to act. For example, you are that brand sales agent searching for a specific dress, providing information, providing links. You can actually write what you want it to do more or less, and then ask it to do it. Okay. For example, if somebody is searching for something for summer, something, whatever, if we are relating to dresses or whatever. And to top it all, we have API abilities. So we can call a stock check directly to SAP, or otherwise we can run other APIs. For example, this one is like a Google search API that can provide me information about specific location and so on. If I will modify it, you can see that I can use all method. And then basically the whole agentic approach means that we create a main flow. This flow will call different kind of APIs, components, OpenAI, intent recognition, all of that based on how the conversation is going on and what is the logic that we hold within the flow itself. So it will know somebody is looking for item, go to the inventory. If it's not there, go to Emarsys and set up a notification when it's back, and so on and so forth. So all of it is basically creating a full flow to accommodate. You can see that basically I can send API calls and get responses basically with the JSON that I can pass, and then get this data, push it to a third-party service, push it to SAP, or grab it, or enhance Emarsys and get to the point. Okay, so that's the studio itself. Another part that that is important to remember, besides all these activities, is that we have a unified inbox where I see the engagement of the customer on all channels. We can see Samantha coming over WhatsApp, coming over the chatbot, the web chat. If we have Facebook engagement, we'll see it on a messenger, and so on and so forth. When I click on her name, it will filter out only this engagement. On this side, we have also abilities to the agent itself, if it's a live agent and not automated. Currently, it's an automated stream. So only users with permission will see what actually is going on the automated stream, on the AI agentic flow. So there is overwatch on it, and we can track whatever is going on over there. Besides the fact that it's visible, we can track it with a lot of abilities. For example, I have here what's basically going on in the flow that I created. And if something is going sideways or whatever, we will have indicators saying it didn't work, you missed this, maybe we didn't recognize this intent or this phrase, and then we can train the model again, fix whatever is missing, or take the logic and embed it into the system. Of course, besides other metrics and overviews and real-time dashboards that we can offer to accommodate everything. Okay. And what else do we have to accommodate? Basically, so we can allow asking AI from here. So if I will ask questions about the ability of coming from that specific, just a second. So we have ability that both agents, and if we go back to our chatbot, They can ask questions that we train the system, OpenAI based, in order to fetch whatever is the right answer about searching for that specific item, or asking, whatever. So both of wherever I will go, it's open to OpenAI only with the RAG approach, which means only the data we load is the data we are training on. So it won't go to the competitor and grab info from there and push it back to the system. So basically, you can see here the answer. So basically, even if we get eventually to the human in the loop, we can get the human in the loop also AI assist in order to fetch and insert information that can be later on sent to our customers. Okay, same goes here. It goes from different sides, and then we can close the loop and push whatever we want to the customer side. Okay. Let me check if we have any touch point that I need to touch on that aspect. Let's see if it sent the message via the WhatsApp. Let me see. Let's put it aside. So, okay. So let me just put it. Okay. So let me just check. Delivery regular. Okay. Cool. So these are all the working parts that we basically have in the flow, and how we start from a given web chat, or it can be a WhatsApp, or whatever is the engagement of a parameter that I'm starting from, going through a AI-driven flow, and eventually updating systems in information such as when to update about out of stock and so on and so forth. And also eventually, in case that the conversation will be resolved, okay? So when I'm closing the conversation, a CSAT will be sent to our customer saying, how was the engagement? I can see my clock is ticking. I have 1 minute. So when we are finished with the engagement, let's go to our WhatsApp, and I can say it was bad experience just because the delivery was late, or whatever. So we set it up also that once we have bad CSAT, we can send some promo code for next shop and next shopping event and so on and so forth. I will stop here because we have 5 minutes for questioning.
Okay, I think the part that Ishai, that we didn't cover is how to change a flow, right?
To change the flow. Okay.
You want to show how
Yeah,
easy to do a small.
yeah. So basically, whenever I go into a given one, I can add elements or even change it. For example, if we're talking about our demo, so we revealed few elements. For example, store locator is not revealed, so it's a real-time system. So if I will do just publish and save my version, once I go to the demo and leave the chat and restart the conversation, we see that basically we can have the store locator here. So it's a real-time system. I can add, I can change, I can manipulate, I can add other APIs, I can play with other APIs. For example, this is an API to the DNV. I can modify it in order of, to do whatever I want. I can change the elements here and add another question, or deduct or extract the questions. For example, I can add sharing location. Okay, share location, and then share location. Location is the name of the field. And once I'm adding this one, I can also do an API call to something which is called, let's add another API call. It's called static select. It's based on a CSV table that I will load and then cross-reference between the dots, and basically run a mini database within my chat, calling itself in kind of a SQL calling on items searching and then offering whatever is best for our customers. Now I'll stop.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Ishai. Now, obviously, it's a lot to take on in 20 minutes. So anybody that wants kind of dive a little bit deeper, just contact us. Would love to take you more slowly through the solution. It's hard to cover everything at once. Just 1 second. I think I'm sharing the wrong thing. 1 minute. Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
So just one more.
Just a second. Let me see. We see it in slide mode or something.
Like this. Good.
Not yet.
The RCS message, that's what you're seeing?
Yeah, but I'm seeing also the presenter view. Just change the presenter view.
Just 1 second, one more time. Okay. Okay, so on top of sending WhatsApp messages, obviously not everywhere brands use WhatsApp for messaging. Some do, some prefer to use kind of SMS related channels, and specifically in the US. So we have partnered with Vonage also with the ability to send RCS messages. RCS messages allow you to send rich messages on basically like the SMS channel by the telco. And in this case, I'm showing a utility water outage message that, again, we partner with Vonage in order to deliver this on your, it comes as part of the SMS channel. So we support, as I said, omni-channel, all the channels. You can send both on RCS and WhatsApp in parallel if it's supported, or you can send an RCS only. So just wanted to kind of put that in place as well, that's supported as well. So before we go to questions, next step, anyone who wants to dive deeper, we have a sales team both in the US and in EMEA that's here to support you. We'll, of course, partner with partners in order to deliver the solution. But I'm going to stop sharing, and I want to leave us enough time because I saw there's a lot of great questions that have come in. So Ishai, I'm going to take you through the questions just quickly. I don't know if you're seeing the questions. So question number 1, how are customer inputs like notify me or satisfaction feedback used to trigger proactive engagement on WhatsApp?
Okay, so basically what we do is we utilize AI or AI-driven intents in order to recognize the semantic request by the customer. For example, notify me, or you need to separate it, because if it's conversational wise, like notify me, update me, and so on and so forth of a customer, we can recognize the intent of update me, and then based on that intent, we can jump to the right area or point to the right activity, which is part of the agentic journey. If we're talking about CSAT feedback, it's also kind of the same, but it's more strict because the CSAT is a survey of 1 or 2 questions with scoring, so 0 to 5, and then based on the score, if it's a low score, we leave the logic to the AI. If it's a low score, do A. If it's a high score, do B. And then we trigger other system. So notify me. I will jump to the node that will send info to SAP or Emarsys. CSAT will do the same, but more calculation of the feedback, or maybe sending it the score back to Emarsys. And by that, we basically automate it and allow the agentic flow to be a closed loop.
Okay, and I see we're at time. There's a few additional questions, but Ishai, I saw you answered most, and we'll follow up for everybody with the questions and answers. I just want to mention one thing. So Henro, you asked about integration to third-party, another system that even if we don't have it as an official connector, we have many times where we connect into specific billing system. If the customer is using a different ticketing system than SAP, but is using SAP as a CRM. So we have ability using the APIs that Ishai spoke about to connect specific implementation to third-party offerings. Again, we'll dive deeper with customers in specific discussions, but I do want to be kind of, I know the time is we finished the time we had for this. So wanted to thank everybody for participating. Thank you for coming in and the great questions. Thank you, Shai, for co-presenting, and all our partners for kind of coming in and delivering these type of solutions together to customers. So looking forward to continue the discussion, and thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you and goodbye.
Bye-bye.